everybody. I'm here today to show you and tell you how to remove expanding foam insulation from your hands. These will be the easiest instructions on the subject matter, so let's get right into this video tutorial. So once again, the simplistic, fully explained topic of the video that you are about to watch is as follows. How to remove expanding foam insulation from your hands, and these will be the easiest instructions on doing just that. Let's get right into this. So this is a can of expanding foam insulation. They come in a variety of different brands and types, but generally speaking, you get a can, you shake it up, there's a nozzle, and you spray the expanding foam insulation into like a gap or a crack or a crevice or whatever you want to fill in. Okay, very, very useful stuff. Now, the only downside of it is that when it gets on your hands, it is unbelievably sticky, unbelievably hard to get off. Okay, and it does say on the lid here to please wear gloves at all times when using this can, and also on the instructions it tells you to wear gloves. But the first time that I did it, guess what I didn't do? I did not wear gloves. So I got the expanding foam insulation on my hands, and I quickly learned how to remove it. But it is really hard to do. So let's get into this. So the first thing that you need to know is you want to remove it as quickly as possible. The longer that it sits, the harder that it is to remove. The earlier that you get it off, the easier it is to remove. So if you let it sit for longer, it will be harder to get off. And if you let it sit for shorter and you try to remove it right away, it will be a lot easier to manage the process of removing it from your hands or your clothing or whatever the case is, okay? In addition, you want to do this preferably before it has had a chance to dry. If the expanding foam insulation dries, it definitely is much harder to get off, okay? Now, this is all stuff that I learned because when I got it on my hands the first time, I let it dry and it was so hard and so sticky and unbelievably crazily difficult to remove. However, I got it on my kneecap another time when I was using the expanding foam insulation, and I removed it right away and it came off so easily. So faster is definitely better. Earlier is definitely better, okay? Now, how do you get it off? Well, first of all, immediately, as soon as it falls on your hands or any, your knee, your leg, your foot, whatever the case is, even your clothing, you want to grab like a paper towel or just, I actually used a spare plastic bag and I just wiped it off immediately. You want to get all of the majority of the foam off immediately, okay? Now, luckily it does stick together. It doesn't really flake apart, so you want to get it off immediately. Then you want to use something like nail polish remover, for instance, to try to get the remainder off. And that will try to remove the stickiness. So let's say I've dropped it on my hand, right? I would remove it immediately with a paper towel or a toilet paper or anything. I would remove, or any scrap piece of paper, really, anything that you can sacrifice that you're willing to throw out. You want to remove the foam immediately off the surface of your hand or your skin, your skin, your clothes, whatever the case is. It might have landed on your hand, might have landed on your leg, on your shoe, on your shirt. I actually had it land on all of those things. Yeah, so you can get rid of it immediately using something that you're willing to throw out, like paper towel, a spare plastic bag, whatever the case is, even something that you can just scrape it off with, right? Like a drywall putty knife, something like that. It's not a knife, right? Don't use a knife. I call it a drywall putty knife. Essentially, it's like a drywall. What's the thing called on the wall when you scrape it down? Like the thing to spread drywall compound, drywall putty. Okay, it's not a knife. I just call it a putty knife, just so you know. Don't use a knife to do this, obviously. Anyways, then once you have the majority removed, you want to use nail polish remover to get rid of the stickiness. Now, we'll tell you, you're not going to get rid of all of the stickiness. In fact, I did a video with this recently, and after I finished using it, I used it separately just for a video tutorial, and I got some on my hand, and I got the stickiness off right away. I was just spraying like a little bit, so I didn't put gloves on, but I got a touch on my hand. I got the stickiness off right away, but there's still a little mark on my skin until that skin, the dead skin, sheds off. Okay, so you're going to get the majority of the stickiness off, but you won't get all of it off. Don't think that you will. Okay. In addition, if you don't have nail polish remover, or if you don't want to use it, what you can do is you can soak your hand or whatever skin area or whatever clothing it landed on. You can soak it in warm water to soften it and to soften those cells and those particles of the expanding foam insulation. And then you can try and rub it off. Obviously, like I said, though, it's not going to come completely off. Don't think that it will. But what you can do to accelerate the process of that dead skin being removed is you can actually get something like a pumice stone or like a scrubbing sponge, like a rough sponge, and scrub the area that was affected. And by using the pumice stone or the scrubbing sponge, you can remove a lot of dead skin. If you do that like on a daily basis or even every couple days, it'll be gone before you know it. And that's it. But honestly, the best thing that you can do, if you're watching this video, you might have already got it on your hands. I know it is what it is, but next time wear gloves. Trust me, it's just honestly, like after I did it once, I'm like, I'm gonna wear gloves all the time, right? And then I used the expanding foam again for a video, just a little bit, and I got just a drop on my hand, and I'm like, hello, I should have used gloves. So just use gloves all the time, even if you're only using it for a little bit, and you should be good to go. But yeah, that's how to remove expanding foam insulation from your hands. The easiest tutorial. I just saw a spider crawling across the windshield that scared the living daylights out of me. It looked pretty big. Anyways, once again, that has been the easiest. Let me try this again. Once again, just to finish this video, I showed you and told you more specifically, I kind of told you verbally how to remove expanding foam insulation from your hands. It has been a set of the easiest instructions on the subject matter, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this simplistic instructional tutorial video. If you like this video tutorial, oh man, I see another spider. What the heck is going on here? I'm under a tree that's hanging close to the windshield. Maybe that's why. Anyways, I'm gonna finish this video before I get a little bit freaked out. I don't know if the spiders are on there. What's in the car, right? That's the way I like to think about it. Anyways, if you like this video tutorial, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment, and of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.